Hi everyone, I am Swazwana. So happy that you could join me. Join us. We need to get straight to the point. How to become a people person. For some people, it is way easier than others to be outgoing, gregarious, social, friendly. Some people are naturally reserved, and that has its benefits too. But to be a people person, the one thing that you need to be is first you need to be true to yourself. Make sure that you are a person that you want to be around. When you're a person that you want to be around, naturally there's some other people that are going to want to be around you as well. The second thing is, and there's no set number because I'm going off the top of the second thing is talk to people like you know them. That is the biggest thing, is to interact with people like you already know them. I have been doing this since I was a child, and it's probably because, well, it's really just my personality. I was gonna say it could be because I grew up as a single child. You hear me? Single child. Excuse me. As the only child. Please excuse me. Probably because I grew up as the only child, but there are a lot of people that have grown up as the only child that still aren't people. They're not a people person. So what I find is the most relatable thing, the most relative thing in becoming or being a people person is to act like you already know the people that you are interacting with, if you want them to feel like you are a people person. Now, if you don't, treat them like whoever they are anyways, like you don't know them. But when you're acting like you already know people, or just interacting with people like you guys already have a rapport, it kind of, and not even kind of, it really builds rapport. You know that those two words that say I am, it's kind of like that. Whatever you are in that situation with that person, that is what it is. So in their head, they can feel that, they can sense that energy, they can see how you're acting with them, and that automatically makes people let themselves, that makes people able to let their guards down. I have so many people that I do not know telling me so many things that I never asked, and quite frankly don't even need to know, just because they feel that they can tell me any and everything. And the truth of the matter is, for the most part, they can. And not even for the most part, you actually can tell me anything. And not only that, when they tell me all these things, another tip, 3 or whatever, another tip on being a people person is, do not judge people outwardly. Because it's so crazy when people say, oh, don't judge. Oh, the Bible says blah, blah, blah. The fact of the matter is, we're all judging. God gave us a brain to use our better judgment, so you better start judging people. So that's why I say don't judge them outwardly. People enjoy being around people that they feel like they can be their authentic selves around. Did you get that? They might tell you something that you don't necessarily agree with, you're not fond of, but if you're not outwardly expressing that opinion which is just what it is your opinion, because there are so many realities in the world. If you're not outwardly vocalizing that opinion, they don't know what you think. They just know that you are receptive to their authentic selves. Another tip for being a people person is smiling. If you have a particularly enticing smile, show it. In a link below, I have a smile enhancer just for you, so check that out. Smiling opens up so many doors, so many souls, so many arms, so many auras, so many environments and spaces that you might not have ever been able to be a part of. Because there is something so pure about an authentic smile. That's another thing. Make it authentic. What I do not do is, no matter how pretty my smile is, I don't fake smile with people. You know, you see some people out and about and they're just like, but you can tell it's fake. I don't back at them. I do not play those type of games. Actually, I only smile when it is natural to me. So sharing a smile brightens up so many people's days, moments, lives. Not only that, I'm going to give you a downside of the smile, because there's some people with very beautiful, enticing, drawing, what's the word I'm looking for? Captivating smiles that have horrible intentions. Personally, I have been fooled by those type of smiles before, and that just goes to show you the power of a smile, and particularly a beautiful smile. Even if you don't feel it, in which, like I said, the first thing to do was to be true. I think that was the first thing I said. At least that's definitely one of the other things that I just said. Be true. But that is the power of a smile. A smile is so magical that it can turn your day around for the better or for the worse. It can make you feel high, and then somebody can also do some conniving stuff with the same beautiful smile, but we'll talk about that another time. So, having an authentic smile helps you become a people person. And I can personally vouch and attest to this. I'm not always happy. I'm not even going to speak on other people. I just know personally that I'm not always happy. But what I do not do is take that unhappiness out on anybody else that it has nothing to do with. So I still don't have a problem smiling at people when I feel it or when we interact, because they're not a part of what's making me unhappy. So some people would say, to be a people person, you have to be happy. You don't have to necessarily be happy to be a people person. In fact, I'm quite sure that, I don't even want to say I'm quite sure, but perhaps you've heard of some people that are much bigger in the media that seemed so happy. Everything seemed so perfect, so peachy keen. And then they turn around and commit suicide. Were those people happy? No. Clearly, they weren't happy, but they were still people. I want to say people persons, but they were still a people person, because even when you're not happy, you can still interact with people and share the bit of light that you do have. Maybe those people are bringing out something in you that you're not usually used to having or being around, and that helps you be more giddy or just positive with them. So you don't always have to be happy to be a people person, but what you do need to do is not take out whatever is going on in your life personally on everybody else that you interact with, because of course you're not going to be a people person. People are going to want to stray far away from you, including me. Let me see. What else? Being well versed or well educated or well knowledgeable in multiple things can also contribute to you being a better people person. Now, you can also be dumb and still be a people person, because I am not the smartest and not the dumbest either in everything that I'm talking about. But what you can do is engage with those people. That's another thing. Make eye contact. Making eye contact with people lets them know that you are truly focused on them. You are engaged and in tune with them. People appreciate that. I also know in some cultures, some other cultures, it is considered disrespectful to maintain direct eye contact with someone. I am from the American culture. I have lived in Asia before, and it's not the best thing to just maintain direct eye contact. In fact, people look down a lot. But if you're in America, make sure you make some eye contact. And even if you're in one of those cultures or countries that eye contact is not a big thing, you can still make eye contact with a smile. People will appreciate that, especially because it's not common if you're from one of those places. So that will make you more magnetic and more of a people person. People will want to be around you because you're not like everybody else. That's another thing, which I said before. I said be authentic, be true to yourself, but make sure that you are not trying to be like everybody else. Everybody cannot pick up on when you are trying to be like everybody else, but there are some people that can pick up on that, and they don't want to be around that type of person. So how I maintain my people personness is being who I am, authentic to myself, even if it's not popular. Even if it's not a popular opinion, I'm still going to have it. I may not voice it because it's not always appropriate, but I'll still have it, and I'll still maintain whatever energy I have in that interaction, to show my individuality. There are some people that can really respect and appreciate people who are confident and certain enough in themselves to be themselves, which is why a lot of people, even if they do not agree with what these people stand for, two people that come to my mind when I think of this are Kanye West and Donald Trump. People not all people agree with all of their stances, but what they do is respect them, because these people have no problem being themselves. Not only are they respecting them, they're checking for them. And by checking for them, please forgive me, that's a little urban vernacular. Checking for them means being in tune with their radar, wanting to know what they have going on, what they think about this, that, and the other. You don't have to agree, but being yourself and being confident enough to stand firm in it makes you more of a people person. You do not have to, like I said, you don't have to express your disagreement. You don't have to, you can. In every instance, it's not appropriate. You can. That's not going to make you a people person. What I have found is, even when I don't agree with what people are saying, I don't have to voice, oh, I don't agree with this, that, and the other. I don't have to, because what does it matter? You're still who you are, and I still am who I am. It's a let's agree to disagree type of situation without even coming out of your mouth and saying it. It's just letting it be as it is. You can change the subject, or you cannot show interest. Now, if something is so appalling to you, you can excuse yourself from a conversation. I had this happen to me. I thought it was one of the most brilliant things ever. Keep in mind, I've only been around for however many decades. And there are other people who have been around for way more decades. And I was talking with somebody, and clearly they didn't agree with what I had to say. Instead of them going back and forth with me, which I appreciated, because I'm not in the business of going back and forth with people. It's a waste to me. If somebody feels how they do, let them, and you feel how you do. What they did was they said, we were on the phone, and they were like, oh, I'm getting a call from such and such and such. They were lying, but I let them go. And I understood, okay, that was a topic, a sensitive topic for them. So a good way to be a people person is to be non-combative, because what is the point? Who are you really going to war with? Have you ever heard the phrase, pick your battles? Because you should pick your battles. Every battle is not yours to fight. Every opinion that you have is not yours to voice, but it is yours to feel. So I'm a people person by not being so combative. You have a right to feel how you feel. You're entitled to feel how you feel. If you want to get educated on how I feel and why I feel the way I do, then you can express that to me, and then I can educate you on that. But as far as trying to force feed you what I think, because I feel like you should feel that way, it's an uphill battle. And what that means is it's a waste of time, that you're always going to be fighting hard to get your point across. And what is the point even? We all live on earth, but there are so many different realities. And once you understand that everybody will not have the same reality and the same perspective as you, that'll make you easier to be around. Because who wants to be with somebody that's arguing with them just because they're sharing with you how they feel? Some people like that. Personally, I don't have the capacity for it. I'm not arguing with you. And I actually used to be on the debate team. And the older I got, I realized, wow, this is such a waste of my energy. I could be doing so much more than making you feel like what I feel is right. When in reality, what's wrong with you feeling the way you feel? Because it doesn't affect me. what you do in your life and how you feel in your life doesn't affect me. Don't let what other people feel in their lives and their reality, their perspective affect you. That's a real strong way to be a people person. Another way to be a good people person is to be bubbly. Of course, you know, people like playfulness. People like the smiles. People like friendliness. I'm funny in my head to myself, and I'm not even telling jokes. And other people pick up on that so much. People are always telling me, "Oh, you are so funny. You are so funny," and I'm like, wow, you know, I haven't even told you a joke, but just being how I am, the way that I just said that, people like that. So that's a tip for you. Expressive. Being expressive helps to communicate how you feel, and quite frankly, people just enjoy it. People enjoy it. If you can be expressive, do that. To where it's not being combative. Like I said, that's a waste of your energy to go into combat for what? What is the prize? What are you winning? You prove this to lose that. You lost this to prove that. What did you gain? You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with that? I have been a very expressive person since the beginning of my era. And I have observed that people enjoy it. So, when I say expressive, I mean hand movements are engaging, facial movements are engaging, different intonations, inclinations, different tones of voices are expressive, and it makes you easier to be around because you're not just the blah type of person. A lot of people don't want to be around y'all heard that? My neck dragging. They don't want to be around a boring person, or just a person that is like everybody else. Like everybody else. I said don't be combative, but also don't be afraid to shake the table. I'm laughing because I'm thinking about when K Michelle was like, "Oh, you shaking the table now?" I don't know if y'all even remember that. That might be way off your radar. But don't be afraid to do that. But there is a way to do that respectfully too. So, right now, that's all that I can think of on how to be a people person. I forgot. Let me say one more thing, because there was this book that I read, and I will never tell you what to do, but I can tell you something that I've done that has helped me. And one of those things was reading the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. Who doesn't want to have friends and influence people? I studied psychology ever since middle school, and that got put onto my radar because I enjoyed the mindset of people. What is it called? The science of behavior. behavior, or just why people do what they do and think what they think. And anyhow, that book right there taught me how to win friends and influence people. I believe strongly it's by Dale E. Carnegie. Actually, Tony Salinas put me onto that book. Now that I'm thinking about it, thanks, Tony. To be a better people person, ask people about themselves. Because people like more than no other thing than to talk about themselves. It's been scientifically proven the most beautiful sound to a person is that person's name. So not only can you ask them about themselves, but make sure that you say their name when you're interacting with them and asking them about themselves. These are the psychological things from that book. Not just asking them about themselves and addressing them by their name, but also mirroring them. And what mirroring somebody means is however they're acting with you, you act with them. Only if it's good though. So to show somebody that you're really engaging with them or engaged by them is if they were sitting like this towards you, you would turn the same way and sit the same way towards them. If somebody starts to play with their hair, you play with your hair a little bit. If somebody crosses their legs, you that basically mirroring means do what they're doing. If they start smiling, you smile. If they do this with their arms, you do that with their arms. Now, some people could argue that is not really authentic, but it works, and I'm just letting you know what works. If you have found this to be helpful, please like this, please subscribe. Also, let me know, did you agree with what I had to say? Do you disagree? Do you have any more tips? Or have you done anything else that has helped you be a people person that you think other people could benefit from as well? In the meantime, in between time, be the best you, okay?